Hey everyone, Brian Bogner here with Greg Towner. Of course, it's time for our monthly video, but today we've got a very special video for you. Investment lessons of 2020. What is that? What does that mean? Well, lo and behold, Greg Towner has written a book, and not just any book, but a very powerful, relevant book for what we do for a living here, obviously, and how we manage money and things like that. But his book is Investment Lessons of 2020, How an Unprecedented Year Taught Us Everything About Investing. And we're going to take the next few minutes. Greg's going to share a few nuggets from the book. And we'll also tell you here at the end of the video how you can get yourself a free copy. We're excited about this. Greg has worked so hard over the past year to put this out, and it's such a great read. So let's go ahead and get started. Greg, take it away.
All right, well, great. Thanks for that introduction, Brian. Yeah, as we came to the end of 2020, we realized we really got almost an entire economic and business cycle really within a 12-month span. And it got me to thinking about all the lessons that could be taken away from everything we went through and then taken forward and used in the future. And so just to start with a big one, and we talk a lot about quality at Parallel, and it proved true again. I mean, this chart shows that typically higher quality investments have about 35% lower volatility than the low quality. And that proved true. If you look back at the correction in March of 2020, the high quality ETF, just to use that as a representative, declined about 33%. Not good, but it was a tough period. But a lower quality ETF actually declined by about 49%. So it kind of equaled this longer term average. Higher quality generally equals less volatility. That was a big lesson we took away, and glad we're going to use it going forward.
Right.
You know, another big lesson is to have a rule in place and have risk management. I always love this quote. We think it's really good here. Investment success accrues not so much to the brilliant as to the disciplined. You know, what happened last year? There was unbelievable amount of noise. We talk a lot about noise. There's never been more noise than in 2020. Obviously, the pandemic, a lot of other things going on. But if you had a plan in place ahead of time, doesn't mean there wouldn't have been hard days and hard times, but you wouldn't have allowed, you know, just noise and things that generate random decisions. You would have known more or less what you're going to do ahead of time. And we think that's really important to do. But to do that successfully, you need to have a plan and a process that suits you and that you believe in. Some people just see, oh, what's the highest returns recently? I'm gonna go towards that type of investing. But maybe it doesn't suit them at all. And then when things get bad, they can't stick with it. So find a process, find an advisor that manages money in the way that you feel comfortable with. You're more apt to stick with it when things get bad, like they did last year.
Because if you don't have it and you don't stick with it, then what ends up driving your decisions?
Noise,
emotions. Yeah, those type of things. And unfortunately, there were some people that we know, not to our advice or anything like that, but that sold literally at the bottom of the downturn. So having rules definitely is a difference maker.
Another big lesson that we took away, it's been in place for as long as we can remember in the market. But again, it was a reminder, don't fight the Fed. The Federal Reserve provided a tremendous amount of liquidity, really went all in at the bottom of the market and helped solidify the market. We can see here the amount of their assets just keep increasing. You know, a lot of times people complain about the Fed. They don't like what they're doing. Well, that's fine. You can have your opinion, but the fact is your opinion of it doesn't matter what they are doing to the market. They're providing liquidity. They're helping assets. You know, and a lot of people say, well, this is just a Fed-driven rally. Again, that doesn't matter what's driving it. You just need to know what is happening. And so we don't want to fight the Fed. And so we're, of course, watching what they're doing going forward.
I take so many of those phone calls where, you know, a client will say, hey, I don't like this policy and I don't like this. And I think that. Well, that might be the case. But we have to make a decision on what's going on right here and now. And right here and now, money is very easy. The Fed and the government is making money very easy to get. And when you can get money very easily, that means you can buy things with them. And what happens to the prices of those things, whether it's real estate, stock prices, asset prices, commodity prices, they tend to go higher. So we want to be bullish. We want to be long.
At the end of the day, you know, what this book and what 2020 really boiled down to was emotions. And the biggest two are fear and greed. mean, unfortunately, they're never going to go away entirely. So you just have to find ways to deal with them. And amazingly, 2020 actually saw both. There was
Right.
certainly a lot of reasons to be fearful. Then we also saw a lot of greed as things moved
Mhm.
higher and the meme stocks and all of that. It's only natural for everybody to have these emotions. It's just important to realize that and recognize it, not be ashamed of it. It's a natural
Right.
thing, but have
Right.
a plan in place so that you can try to deal with it. Yeah, I mean, 2020 really, we felt like it was a historic way to see all these different investment lessons compiled into one roughly 12-month period. And we think there's a lot of takeaways for investors to use going forward.
Yeah. Yeah. So this is literally the past few minutes that Greg's been talking about is literally just such small nuggets out of this book. And one really neat thing he does, I'm gonna brag on you, Greg. He breaks the year down into different sections, in terms of time frames throughout the year of what happened, and then also the theme and what happens, and just gives a lot of nuggets around it. So yes, it talks a lot about 2020, but these are principles that we can use forever in investing in what we do. So if you want a free copy of this book, then here, give us a call, shoot us an email, and we would be happy to give you a copy. So thanks so much for listening and have a wonderful day.